With graphics like that, this guy must work out.
How's it going, folks? Coming to you from the workshop. I'm going to give you a little overview on the tile saws that I use. It just depends on the size job. I use both these saws. If I'm doing a small job, backsplash or something little, I use this little Craftsman 7 1/4. I have bought Cobalt and several different brands over the years. These are the two that I use all the time, and you can tell by looking at them that they get used. They're not, I didn't just pull this out of a box. So this runs about $100. Since Sears is going out of business, I don't know who will end up carrying it, but this little saw is awesome. I have tiled a whole house with this before. I've got two of these. My original ones, this is all plastic, which is probably the biggest downfall. It's a pretty sturdy saw, but your measuring device here that you snap your fence on is plastic. So one of the guys that works for me threw it in the bed of the truck, broke this on the original one I had. But I probably installed 5,000 to 7,000 square feet with that first saw. This one I've had for about 2 years. It works like a champ. Like I said, I use it for small jobs. If I'm doing a big job, I don't use this saw, but it's got a guide fence. Like I said, you can put it on this side or this side and cut from either angle. You can also do angle cuts. So this comes up, and there's supposed to be a bar in here that allows you to cut at 15, 30, and 45 degree angles. And then over here, you gotta take the guard off. Over here is the side that you put your water in. And it's got a little overflow spill here. And that, I think, still has the original blade on it that I bought 2 years ago. So for little stuff, that's why. These tops are actually backwards. This one's supposed to be over here. But anyway, it works like a champ. Like I said, I've done whole houses with it. It's the only saw I used for the first probably 4 years of business, and I did quite a bit of tile that first year. Granted, I don't just do tile floors, but it will work for that. So if you're looking for an inexpensive saw that's good, I would, if I had one that I had to use out of all of them, I would probably stick with this one and keep on going back, because there's really not a limit on how big of a tile you can cut with this saw. I mean, you can take your rip fence off and put a chalk line on your tile or a mark on your tile and cut however big a tile you want with this little saw. So still an excellent little Craftsman saw. My big tile saw is this Dewalt. I researched about 3 years ago. My Cobalt one I had bought has a nice big stand, and the tile started getting crooked, and I couldn't get the saw to cut straight. So thought it was time to buy a really good tile saw, and this is the one that I ended up going with. I bought this off Amazon. It had excellent reviews. Cuts like butter. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Let's see if I can find you a model number on this. It is a heck of a saw. Here we go. I'm not seeing it. I may post it in the comments, but it's got an off and on switch here. You fill this bottom tray up with water, and it's got a screen that goes on here. It's probably the only issue I've got with it is when you take this out, you got to remember to set this on this little tray, because it's not, it's actually plugged in as a jumper off of your power cord that goes to your saw. So you got to prime it. You fill it up with water, set it on the side until it starts getting suction and you see water come out of these spigots. And when it gets water, you just flip it upside down like that in the tray, and it keeps the water going, so the water spills over into the tray. It's got an attachment on this side, which is kind of nice when you're cutting a ton of tile and when you got a place for your scraps. This back plate helps catch the water and push it back into the tray. And you can set almost a whole box of 12 by 12 tile on this back, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, it's got some give to it, but it's extremely sturdy. Probably one of the other downfalls to it is this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a 6-piece kit. So when you take this all apart, this is one piece, the saw is one piece, this table is one piece, this is one piece, the tray right here is another piece, and then the legs are another piece. So that was the only negative review I've seen on it, and it is kind of a pain in the butt because it is so many pieces, but like I said, it cuts awesome. I have done quite a few whole houses with it, and I have not had any issues whatsoever. So allows you to adjust your blade up and down here. You can also do angle cuts. So you can kind of do a little bit of a plunge there, and then you can tilt the saw to do angle cuts. So I think this particular model was right at $800. I've seen a newer version of this that's like, it's still right around $8. I think they've got another version that's like $9, but excellent little saw. It's got a lock here for your table, keep it from going forward. If you put this on an angle, you want to do that, because depending on how deep you have your blade set, you can't actually cut into the metal right here. There's rubber to that stop, so you want to make sure that's set to stop so it doesn't slide through and dull your blade on the metal right here. But excellent little saw. You can buy pumps for it as well, but let me know. I know I was thinking about getting a diamond saw, MK saw, but I ended up settling on this one. So leave me any comments you got if you've got a particular model that you like. I've seen guys use all different types. So hope this helps. Appreciate it.
This guy needs to be a poster child for birth control. If you like that video, hit subscribe.